On any weekend in Hanoi, if you go to Hoan Kiem Lake, you'll feel as if the entire city has come out to play. The Lake of the Returned Sword, as it's known, is the nucleus of the Vietnamese capital and the site of an ancient myth involving a triumphant emperor and a turtle god. But venture north of Hoan Kiem and the hubbub of the old quarter and you'll find West Lake, the biggest in Hanoi, and equally steeped in mythology.
West Lake is considered in Feng Shui for Vietnamese like a center of energy.
Quinn On Nguyen is a freelance photographer and a native of Hanoi. She's been around Vietnam and beyond on assignment, but there's something about Hanoi that keeps bringing her back.
I think Hanoi is about the mixture of things of Asian lifestyle and some features from the colonial past. A lot of the modern growth of the economy, just everything is just mixed together. It's quite interesting also to observe the changes.
One thing about Westlake hasn't changed over the years, a beloved homegrown snack that gives a taste of Hanoian history. Shrimp cake, or ban tom.
We are at a restaurant called Bánh Tôm Hồ Tây. This is the most famous spot for this dish. So the restaurant was opened in 1956, quite a while ago. And thanks to this restaurant, the street snack became famous. The dish is pretty simple itself. There is no fancy ingredients. The prawns, the shrimps are caught directly from the lake. In the 30s, it was a sort of street food snack that the street food vendors used to sell on the shores of the lake. All that time it was related to war and, of course, poverty in Vietnam, and people didn't have much of luxurious or quality food like meat or anything like that type. So having a meal on the West Lake on the weekend does make a sense, like it's for families. Now it's like memories, precious memories.
For Nguyen and many other Hanoians, there's a nostalgia attached to this dish that transcends mere taste.
Our shrimp cake is special because the recipe has been passed down through several generations, from my grandmother to my mother, and we've been continuing the legacy that our parents left behind.
If you're gonna miss Hanoi, you're gonna miss the food here. I love the way the Vietnamese use the sauces and the herbs that I think you can't really find anywhere.
It's high noon in the Old Quarter, Hanoi's beating heart of commerce. Throughout its history, merchants and artisans came here to peddle their wares, often produced in the craft villages that surround the city. With a history spanning more than 400 years, Cu Da village in the southern part of Hanoi is one of them.
They're famous for, at the beginning, for making the sauce called Tương Cự Da is quite famous for its quality.
The pungent sauce, special to Cu Da, is made from sticky rice and soybeans, a mixture that's left to ferment in clay jars for weeks.
Nowadays, I think it's everything that is still made by hand is special, because we're in the 21st century. Of course, people try to and want to modernize the production process, but everything is still made by hand in Cu Da village.
The village is best known for its vermicelli, or mien in Vietnamese, a mix of arrowroot flour and water. It is spread thinly onto large bamboo trays and steamed. The trays are then loaded up onto carts and taken to a nearby field to dry.
So this is, for example, the sheets that were just really steamed some minutes ago, and it's going to be dried here for maximum 2 hours under the sun.
In its heyday, Cu Da was a prosperous village that took advantage of its position on a trading route. Today, evidence of its former glory remains.
By visiting our village, I think people can learn a lot about preserving valuable cultural assets and the traditional beauties that our ancestors left behind.
This is a French villa, but the previous owner, they are not living here anymore, so it is bought by other people. Everything is kept in the original state.
From colonial-era architecture to Nguyen Dynasty wooden houses, Cu Da is a showcase of the country's changing influences and aesthetics. As Hanoi continues to urbanize, there's a fear that the old houses of Cu Da are in danger. Today, many of the villagers here earn their living from vermicelli. Together, they produce hundreds of tons of noodles each year, which are then consumed across the country.
We are in Hanoi Center, and I am about to eat this very delicious glass noodle with eel. You can see the eel here is fried, but normally they have both versions, like fresh eel and fried eel. And this is the glass noodle that we have recently seen the whole production process. Hanoi food in particular is it's always like very fresh flavors, and all the flavors and the combination of the spices, they always like hint the natural flavors of the food itself, of the components of the food. So, and when you eat it, you can still like feel like just a real taste of the ingredients.